Okay, good morning, students. I think there are now more students so that we can start. So, this is your first lab session of cloud computing services. Okay, so my name is Kirti Raj Sijala and I'll be taking your cloud computing services. Uh, Already, this subject, not full subject, certain topics already that has been already is there in, I think, in a computer IT 8th semester, that is cloud computing with AWS. Okay, Amazon Web Services. You have some other topic also, but this certain topics which is, you can say, overlapping with 8th semester student also, and I was also taking that particular subject, that is cloud computing with AWS. Okay, so before we start certain things, let me tell you that I have sent a mail regarding Google Cloud Readiness Program. Okay, before, I think, certain days, and certain interested student have registered also. Okay, so we have a collaboration with Google where uh, certain, you can say, benefits regarding Google Cloud Platform, GCP, you will be getting free of cost. Okay, where you can actually perform the practical, where you can use the resources of GCP free of cost. You can perform the different quick lab on a certain platform, and Google will not charge you anything. Okay, and there is one course, that is Google Cloud Readiness Program, where you need to complete at least 3 to 4 courses, and after completing the course you will be getting the certification from Google. So Google will give you one certificate in a collaboration or with Coursera. Okay, so that is was very, you can say, unique certification, which is, I think, Google is giving you free of cost. Okay, and same way we have done this Google Cloud Readiness Program with your seniors as well. Okay, which is into the 7th semester. So Google has given the surprise for that particular batch, that if you complete that particular course, you are directly eligible for paid internship with Google plus Google hiring process. Okay, so that was a surprise, that you don't need to do anything. You just need to enroll into Google Online Challenge if you have completed this Google Cloud Readiness Program, and directly you will be eligible for paid internship. Okay, eligible means you need to clear certain rounds. Okay, and then you are eligible. So same way for this batch also, 5th semester students, I have sent you the mail to all the students, and interested student has already registered, and today was the last date, 20th of August, to complete, and to complete the task which Google has given you, and accordingly you will be enrolled into that particular course. So there is one pre-test today, there is one pre-test for this particular batch. So if you complete, then and then you are onboarding into that particular Google Cloud Readiness Program. Okay, so I think if you, anybody has registered from your batch, I don't know. uh, if you have registered, please, I request, very good opportunity, at least still you have this particular one day up to 12 o'clock.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, yesterday I tried, but it's showing it is not accepting any request right now.
So the last date was, I think, 20th of August, right?
Yeah, sir, but I tried yesterday and at 19th or 18th and 19th, but same issue, sir.
I think you please check that whether which in email ID you are using.
Sir, I
It
am
will
using
be,
from Marwadi email ID only, sir.
so please contact that particular Google. I think there is one option that you can contact if you are facing any difficulties, right? Email ID.
Okay.
So you can directly, I think, contact that particular Google person, that I'm using this eligible email ID, institute email ID, and still my response is not accepted. Okay, so from that, I think
Sir,
Google. Yes.
sir, I have shared the error also, sir, in chat box.
Okay, let me check.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is intrastate form. I'm not talking about intrastate form. The intrastate form was the last date was 13th of August.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the last date. That was 13th August. Before or on or before 13th of August, you need to fill the intrastate form. After filling the intrastate form, Google has sent a certain email to the interested student that you can complete this task on or before 20th of August, and after checking your task, if you complete all the tasks, you will be onboarded to this particular Google Cloud Readiness Program. So that date was 13th of August, and I have mailed on, I think, 6th or 7th, I don't know exact date. I have given you 5 to 6 days to actually fill this particular form, interested form. Okay, so that was your actually students responsibility to actually complete that interested or fill that interested form in a certain time duration. Okay, now if you check that say I want to enroll, though that was not the case in case of Google is very strict on time basis, right? If Google is saying that
Okay, sir.
13th, yes, 13th of August is the last date, then that is the last date. We cannot do anything. Again, Google is saying that 20th of August is the last date to complete the task, and then we will onboard you. There will be no excuses on that part. Okay, because they are giving more time, actually double time, to complete any of the task, right? If task completion requires 3 days, then they are giving 6 days. Still, if you are not able to actually complete the task, means Google are saying that students are still not interested then, right? Because if you are not completing this task on time, it is very difficult that you complete the full course on time. That was the reason which why we are taking the particular test, okay, with the collaboration of Google. Okay, so again, out of this 20 students in this batch, if you have registered into the intrastate form in a Google, then please you complete the task today itself and start onboarding with the Google Cloud Readiness Program. Very good program. See, if you are saying that our department is not doing anything for you, so let me tell you, we have a collaboration with Google, and every time Google, we cannot compare other companies with Google, right? So we have biggest collaboration with Google, big companies for you guys. And still, if you are not interested, that means that is your actually choice or fault, that you are not actually interested in a onboarding a certain skill. Okay, so it depends on students. Okay, if you see that due to this COVID situation, if you a COVID situation, if you realize that most of the MNC company now currently, you can say, onboarding or shifting their resources to the cloud platform. There are lots of cloud platform, but now they are offering the work from home. Employees can work wherever, whenever, where they want, at any place, anytime, and resources are readily available on a cloud, where company can give you the resources. As an employee, company can contact you, company can, or employee can share the different perspectives, different files, folder, everything on a Google Cloud or any cloud service provider. Okay, so due to this COVID situation right now, cloud computing is the latest trending technology. And if you don't know, all the recruitment has been stopped other than cloud platform. Okay, if you check with the different technology, different companies has stopped the recruitment in terms of networking, in terms of IoT, in terms of you can say any other coding languages, say Java, .NET, C, C Sharp. But Cloud is the only technology where recruitment is still going on. Why? Because they want a cloud developer, or you can say a certified cloud engineer, which can give the all the resources or maintain, monitor everything of a different company. You can say different company subscribed a different services from the cloud service provider. Okay, so cloud is the only technology right now which has not stopped its recruitment process. Due to this situation, many MNC company is shifting their resources. Okay, so interested in a cloud, you actually uh, concentrate or take the interest in cloud computing technology. Now let me present my screen. Before we start, just to give you the overview of this particular subject. Okay, let me start with the teaching scheme. You have a 4 practicals, 2 credit subject. You will be having 150 marks ESE. You will be having one 25 marks Viva and term work. You will not be having mid sem and internal. Okay, so your Viva will be conducted, term work will be conducted, site visit will be, you need to have a basic understanding of operating system and computer network. Actually, you have studied in a previous semester. Okay, these are the course outcome where you will learn uh, different cloud computing services and its basic. You will learn and analyze the virtualization and its role in a cloud computing. So I think virtualization you have studied in operating system, how to install the certain operating system in a virtual environment, or you can install the certain virtual software, that is VMware, VirtualBox. Okay, where you will install the certain operating system and you will work with it. Okay, then you will analyze the architecture of cloud, and last not the but not the least, you will identify and apply the deployment and management option of AWS cloud architecture. Okay, so these are the course outcome. These are the chapters. There are 5 chapters. First one is introduction to cloud computing, where I will able to explain everything basic introduction of cloud computing. Then virtualization and abstraction. Then we come to the AWS, Amazon Web Services. Okay, compute and storage. Then chapter 4 is AWS networking and security, and last one is architecting on AWS. So these are the 5 chapters. Okay, these are the reference book. First 2 reference books, that is by Blur and Halper, Cloud Computing for Dummies, and second one is Rajkumar Bhuya by I think Rajkumar, Cloud Computing Principle and Paradigms by Rajkumar Bhuya. These are the 2 reference books you can use. Very good reference book. If you don't want to use the reference book, I will upload the certain material. Don't worry. These are the list of experiment. Okay, these are total 7 list of experiment. So what I'm expecting here is, first is, please check, install any operating system using virtualization tool and understand its application. So this you can actually do, right? What you need to do, you need to install any virtual software, that is VMware, VirtualBox. Okay, there are lots of software you can install in your PC or laptop, and install any operating system. I don't mind what kind of operating system you are selecting. Okay, you install this particular virtual tool, any virtual tool. I'm giving you the name VirtualBox, I'm giving you the name VMware. What you can do, you install the virtual tool and install any operating system, Linux, Kali Linux, Red Hat, Fedora, Windows 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, anything. You don't have to install in a dual boot. Take the screenshot with the stepwise you need to give the first practical. So I will give you the just introduction of first practical, but this you need to do it by yourself. Okay, rest of the practical we'll be doing into the AWS. We will be doing into the Amazon Web Services. Okay, for that I will tell you, how to make the AWS account. Okay, that we will discuss at the last part. Okay, this is the there are 1 minute. So for this, I think I will give you the assignment. Total assignments will be, I think, 4, but we will check how much or how many assignment I will tell you. I will give you. Okay, but at least 4 assignments will be there. This is your Amazon Web Service. Okay, AWS, where you need to create an account. But I will tell you how to do it. Don't worry. Okay, and I will be the instructor. Okay, for your class actually. If you have any doubt related to this, you can tell me. Otherwise, we can directly go for first chapter, that is Introduction to Cloud Computing.
Sir,
Okay.
isn't cloud AWS is paid every month?
Isn't
600 rupees.
600
AWS,
rupees?
yeah,
Yes.
monthly running cost of
Is
AWS
it?
for the least server is 600 rupees, I
No,
think.
no, no. It is no. There is free of cost. Don't worry. There are basically. I will. Okay. Let me first discuss this. Okay, so that you have an idea related to this. 1 minute. Let me show you the one uh, PDF file which all. Okay. So if my screen is, I think, now visible. 1 minute. Okay. So basically, there are two types of account. I think I will directly show you on practical basis. This is when you go for AWS, you will be mm, this is your first AWS Amazon Web Service. Okay. So basically, there is two account you can create. First one is AWS account. Okay, so if you create the AWS account, AWS will give you the 100 credit. How many? $100 credit. And $100 credit you can use for performing the practical. Okay. Second thing, but here there is a catch. What is the catch is, when you are creating the AWS account, AWS will ask you for your credit card. Okay, so you need to enter your credit card detail, and then AWS will give you the 100 credit free of cost. Okay, now if you perform any practical, say you are related to data, you are asking for a storage, you are asking for a processing power, you are asking for a certain instance, then AWS will charge you certain amount of rupees, certain amount of dollars, and that will be deducted from the $100 credits which AWS has given you free of cost. Now, if by mistake, if any instance is running, you have not stopped the instance, by mistake you have not end any particular session, and it is running, then automatically that running processing power or running instance will be charged from your 100 credit. So whenever you finish the particular practical, you need to actually stop each and everything from AWS Web Service. Okay, and if you exceeds the limit means, suppose you have 100 credit, right, and now you are exceeding the limit, you don't know that your instance or your processing power is not ended, it is still ongoing, then AWS will charge you a certain rupees. and it will be reflected into your AWS account. I will give you one scenario, or I will give you one real-time scenario where I think in eighth semester, there was 90 students who has opted for AWS cloud computing. Okay, and they have created certain, someone has created a certain AWS account. Okay, so out of 90 students, see, lastly I will discuss, don't worry. So first account is AWS account. Second account is, let me again show you, AWS Educate account. Okay, first one is AWS account and second one is AWS Educate account. You search in Google, there is another link called AWS Educate. Here just what you need to do, just join AWS Educate, click onto the join AWS Educate. AWS will ask you which kind of role you want to access, whether you are as a student, educator, institution, or any other thing, company or US veteran. Select student, click onto the student. You need to fill this all the detail. Okay, so same way I have made this PDF, one student has made. Go to the AWS Educate, select role as a student, fill this form where you need to write down your institute email ID, you need to write down Marwadi University, everything. Okay, then click onto the I agree button and it will give you the thanks, we have received your application. Okay, after completing this process through AWS Educate, open your email ID, institute email ID. So there will be one mail from AWS Educate that we have received your application. To confirm and verify your application, please click on this link below. So you need to click this link. After that, again one email will be received for, you can say, AWS Educate. If your application is not approved, suppose, see, AWS Educate will not approve everything. Okay, when you are actually giving all the detail, might be possible out of 50 students, 5 or 10 student, your AWS Educate application will not approve. So what you can do, if it is approved, then it's okay. You will get the email that your AWS education application is approved. But if it is not approved, what you can do, go to the mail where it is listed your AWS Educate application is not approved. Click onto this link where you can create a support case. Support case means you can create a contact support. Okay, go to this link, write down your case, kindly activate my account, write down the description, and what you can do, you can choose the attachment. What kind of attachment? You click the photo of your ID card, Marwadi University ID card, front and back. Choose that photo, attach this photo to this particular link, and after 7 to 10 days, automatically you will be receiving this mail that your AWS Educate application is approved. Getting? So let me again, yes. So here, what is your task? Either you can create, there are two types of account in AWS. One is AWS account where AWS will ask you for a particular credit card detail. And again, if you exceed the certain limit, then certain rupees will be deducted or certain rupees will be reflected from your credit card. Okay, again I'm saying, mark my words. Second one is AWS Educate, where you will not be asked any kind of credit card detail, but the credit will be 75. 75 credit you will be getting. Okay, 75 credit આપશે. Please check. I can show you this Akash email ID. See, this is AWS Educate account login. Write down your email ID password, and this is your AWS Educate. If you can check, what you can do, you need to, after approval of AWS Educate, just go to the AWS Educate starter account, and automatically you will be getting $75 credit. લખેલું છે, please check. Your account has estimated 75 credits. Okay, and then you can actually go to the console part of AWS, and then you can actually perform the practical. Okay, we have we have set up the practical in a such a way that you will not get the means you will not require any credit below 50. Okay, more than 50 you will not get. Okay, so at 75 is enough to perform this 7 practicals for you. Okay, not 7, also 6, I think. First is to create a actually virtualization tool. So this 6 practical you can easily do through this particular AWS Educate account. Okay, I will upload the video also. Don't worry how to do the practical. I will explain also, so don't worry on that part. But the condition, or you can say here in a practical lab, in an online class, is that I don't know what you are doing at your end. Okay, so the work 70 in online classes, the 70% is student part, rest 30% I will be dedicating to you. Okay, because I don't know what you are doing. I will explain everything. I will perform the practical. I will give you the resources. I will give you the material, video, everything. But I don't know at your end what you are doing, whether you are joining through your laptop, whether you are joining through your mobile. Suppose if you are joining through your mobile, cloud computing will not work in a mobile. Please, I request, if you are performing any practical through cloud platform, please don't tell, sir, I have joined through the mobile. Then it is very difficult to perform any kind of practical. Theory session, good, you can join through your mobile. But if you are saying, sir, I'm using my mobile, then I cannot help you. You need to use your laptop, you need to use your you can say computer or PC. Here the main part is, we don't have any means, if you have any kind of PC which has 2 GB of RAM, 4 GB of RAM, then also AWS will work, because it is an online cloud platform. Okay, AWS will give you all the processing power, all the RAM, all the storage, all the operating system, everything AWS will give you. So you would require only one PC with a basic configuration. Okay?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, why we need to have a different system installed over virtual machine or VMware?
Why we need means, so how you will install the operating system then? What kind of operating, how you can?
No, in our current system, can't we install and use AWS?
Can't we install?
In the current system which we are using,
Yes.
can't we use this, sir?
No, so that is not the virtualization, right? Practical says that you have already installed one operating system into your particular laptop, right? You are using Windows 7, you are using Windows 8, or you are using Windows 10. Now the practical is, second operating system you need to install in a virtualization. Now virtualization means,
Sir,
yes,
why we are doing just for the practical, or we will be requiring it for our AWS sessions as well? That is what
No.
I'm trying to ask actually.
See, before we start a AWS part, you need to understand that virtualization is a technique or tool where you can, without installing the operating system into the dual boot, or without installing the operating system into your system, you can actually create an image through virtual tool, and you can actually use the certain functions of other operating system through your laptop or PC. That is the virtualization technique which is required, or which is used for a particular, you can say, cloud platform. So before that, what is here my part is, before using the virtualization technique on a AWS or any cloud platform, first you check, or first you have a basic understanding, you should have a basic understanding how to use the different virtual tool into your system, getting, and how you can install the certain operating system or use the certain operating system through certain virtual tool. Okay, then we will go for a AWS part. Okay, so directly we will not go for a AWS part. Okay, first you need to have a basic understanding of a virtualization technique with your system. That is the only thing. By practical one is easiest of them all. I think you should know how to install the virtualization, right? Or you don't know? In a fourth semester, you are having an operating system subject, right? Or you don't have? You have not studied. I don't know about AI and big data class. Have you
Sir, we
studied?
had. Yes, sir, we had.
Yes. So that was the first. That was the first. If you can, I don't know who has taken your operating system, but the first practical stage of operating system, you need to install the particular operating system into the virtual machine or in a dual boot, right?
Yes, sir, we did on virtual machine, sir.
Yes, so that is the same practical we have introduced here.
Okay.
Yes, or operating that same, whatever the operating system subject you have studied, that was designed by me only. Okay, so I know very well what was the first practical and what was the, I think, last practical. What you have studied operating system, that was designed by me in a Marward University. Okay, so my here part is why I have taken first practical from the operating system. I cannot, you can say, assume that every student knows everything, right? Might be possible out of 24 students, uh, 20 students knows everything how to install the virtual operating system in a, you can say, virtual tool. Okay, but I have to assume that rest of the 4 or 5 students or 7 students who doesn't know how to use the virtual tool, or who doesn't know how to install it. Okay, so I need to think like, you can say, from the basics. I will not think like that, see, one student is knowing everything means every students will know everything. Okay, first, your doubt has been solved, or anything you want to add?
No, sir. No, thank you.
I think I am right. I need to think like that only. Okay? I don't know. Okay, every 24 students needs to actually, if you know, good, you can complete this 5 in a 5 minutes. Okay, don't worry. Then we can go for other things. Okay, now next is, let me tell you, uh, second option. Let again, I need to check. Okay, I think my screen is visible, right? Another option is, I have my own, I think, AWS Educate account. Let me show you. Uh, as an educator, I am having my own account. Okay, this is my own account. So here there is another option also, that I can enroll into you into, means I can enroll you as a student. So there are options that request to go to the AWS Educate Classroom, request the credits for your class, then you can actually enroll into LMS, that is Canvas, and registration will be sent to the students. Okay, but this I need to actually check how much credit AWS is giving to the particular class. Okay, 50, 60, 70. Okay, so what my expectation is for you is I will upload this PDF file how to create your AWS Educate account. Okay, so that you don't rely or depend on any students or any class. You create your own AWS Educate account and you have a 75 credit, and what you can do, you can perform your practical. Okay, second thing, um, we have, I think, I don't know I have told you this or not, we have AWS Academy also for you guys. If you don't know, I am a in charge of that academy from your institute. Okay, uh, AWS Academy. Uh, I think I'm having the bookmarks of this AWS Academy. Yes, this is the AWS Academy site login. Yes, so this is your AWS Academy. So we have a collaboration with AWS, Amazon Web Service, and we have already Marwadi. If you can check Marwadi Education Foundation, we can actually enroll the faculty, we can enroll the students. Okay, but right now it is into the basic, actually ongoing process. So I think if you can check, there are different courses. I can nominate the different curriculum or courses which is already there of AWS Cloud Foundation, Cloud Architecting, Cloud Operation, Cloud Developing. There are different data analytics, machine learning. Okay, so I can nominate the certain faculty, and faculty will actually enroll the certain students if students are interested to learn a certain course. But here the main aim is first to educate or first to enroll the faculty, and then after faculty will enroll the students into this particular different course. Mind you, this all courses are very much expensive. If you go to learn this certain courses, it will actually cost you 15 to 10 20,000 rupees, plus you need to give the examination, and examination cost will be, I think, 15 to, I think, I don't know, $50 or $100, which AWS is giving us a certain in a discounted rate. Okay, so in later part also we will discuss these things. Okay, where just for you guys, I'm just telling us we have a AWS academic collaboration, we have a Google collaboration, so we have all the things, but it is on to the student part whether students are interested or not. Okay, that is the main task here. So directly we will go to the first chapter, what is cloud computing, we will discuss. I think any doubt related to this, don't worry, I will upload this PDF file. So my expectation is from you guys is that when you come into the next lab, please create your AWS at least Educate account so that we can start a certain practicals. Okay, any doubt on this, you can tell me. You can reply me in a chat box. Don't please don't unmute yourself. You can reply me in a chat box. Okay, I will happy to answer all your queries. Okay, so we can start. I think you need to one minute. Please upload that guide PDF, sir. Yes, I will upload. Don't worry. Okay, I will upload. Don't worry. Okay. I will upload, don't worry. Let this lab completes, then I think you can check after today or tomorrow. I will upload, don't worry. Okay, so we will start with the cloud computing. Now please, first you tell what is cloud computing, if you know. Any idea related what is cloud computing? Can you tell me what is cloud computing, if you can? One minute. Okay, I'm having one call. 1 minute. Okay, yes, okay. Now let me start with the cloud computing then. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, instead of using our local machine to store the data, we use the cloud storage. Yes, right. Any other thing? Any other? What is cloud computing? Any other? So basically, what is cloud computing? Let me tell you. Cloud computing is a on-demand availability of computer system resources, storage, or computing power without direct active management by user. Okay, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing means user will get all the resources in terms of network, in terms of, you can say, computational power, processing power, storage, everything on demand, anytime, any place, anywhere, and that is called cloud computing. Okay, so here please check the cloud computing. Cloud computing is a model for enabling convenient on demand network access to shared pool of configurable and reliable computing resources. Example: network, servers, storage, application, services, everything. I can give the example: Netflix. I think you have heard the name Netflix. You are using the web series, you are watching the web series, you are watching the movies of Netflix. Yes, so Netflix right now is using the AWS service to store all the data. Okay, all the data, servers, storage, application, all the services of AWS is used by Netflix. Again, Amazon on demand video, Amazon Prime. So Amazon Prime is also using the AWS services, if you don't know. So big companies are using the certain, you can say, uh, um, using the certain cloud computing cloud service providers. Okay, same way, I think you are using the Google Gmail, right? So that is one kind of cloud where user has to create an account. That is, you are creating your account, right? After creating your account, username and password, you can access the different service of Gmail or different service of Google, say G Suite, where you can use the video conferencing using Google Meet. You can create a calendar using a Google Calendar. You can use the Gmail. You can use the Google Drive, where Google will give you the 15 GB. If you are using the personal email ID of Google, then Google will give you the 15 GB space free, and afterwards it will charge you. And second thing is, if you are, I think, using the Institute Marwadi email ID, I think you are getting the unlimited space, right? Why you getting the unlimited space? Because we have collaborated with the Google and we have taken the certain space or storage space for our employee and students. What are the essential characteristics of cloud computing? On-demand self-service, broad network access, local independent resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and measured service. We will discuss it in detail this. Now, what is on-demand self-service? On-demand self-service is to use the cloud computing resource as needed without human interaction between user and cloud service provider. Okay, there is no such kind of human interaction. If user wants to uh, if user wants more space, so what you need to do, you need to request a cloud service provider that I want more space, and accordingly cloud service provider will charge you. Okay, the ease of use, elimination of human interaction provides the efficiency and cost saving to both user and cloud service provider. Cost saving means pay as you go. If you talk about Microsoft Azure, if you talk about Google Cloud Platform, if you talk about you can say AWS, they follow the model pay as you go, pay as you go on service. So how much you use the certain resources or services of certain cloud service provider, accordingly it will charge. Suppose if you have only used a storage space of 12 GB, then AWS will you give you the bill of certain space. It will not charge you more amount of space rupees. Okay, okay. Suppose if you only using the 4 GB, that is processing power, then automatically only 4 GB processing power charge will be taken by AWS. It will not charge more than that. And again, it will be on a hourly basis. Hourly basis means if you have used the space or processing power for only 1 hour, then it will be only charged for 1 hour, not more than that. It will not charge for 24 hours, 1 week, or 1 month. Okay, so it will be pay it will be on, you can say, pay as you go on a hour basis. Okay, hour basis means કે કેટલા કલાક તમે યુઝ કરેલું છે particular service by the particular cloud service provider. Okay, so that is on demand self service. Yes, broad network access. Now what is broad network access? For cloud computing to be effective alternative to in-house data center, high bandwidth communication link must be available to connect it to cloud service. So here the main part is, if you want to use the cloud computing technology where everything will be stored on a cloud, means first thing is you need to have a high bandwidth. I think if we talk about 15 years ago, uh, we don't have, I think, good internet service. We have 2G, 2.5G, but right now everybody is using, after introduction of Geo, okay, 4G, we are using a certain, you can say, 4G technology, and we have a high bandwidth, so we can actually use the cloud computing technology where it requires high bandwidth to use the certain cloud services. Okay, again, I can give you the example. Again, if you don't use the cloud services, then what you need to do, being a large organization, say I think Marwadi University. Marwadi University, if your Marwadi University is not using cloud technology, then they have to establish their own data centers. I think you go to the second floor and you go to the computer IT department in a labs. There is one ICT department in between, which handles all the certain services related to the maintenance and monitoring of data center. We have our own in-house data center. We have our own team, in-house team, which works for all the data of employee students stored in a particular in-house data center, and we have set up the different servers as well. Okay, so it depends on a choice of a particular organization, what kind of service they want to access. Okay, many organizations use the three-tier architecture to connect the variety of computing platforms such as laptop, printer, and mobile phones. So actually, I think broad network access, you can access the different services of a different cloud service provider through different hardware device, say laptop, say PDA, say computer, say any other device. Okay, I think AWS is giving the certain, you can say, services on a mobile phone as well. Okay, you just need to download the application of AWS and you write down your enrollment, your username and password, and certain services will be readily available onto your mobile as well. Okay, I'm not saying every services, but certain services which requires coding, then again you need to go switch on to the particular computer or laptop. Third one is location independent resource pooling. Now, what is location independent resource pooling? The cloud must have large and flexible resource pool to meet the customers' needs, provide the economies of scale, and
Sir,
meet
screen is
the
not visible.
screen is not visible. I have already present. You are presenting. I am having this.
Visible, sir, visible.
Yes.
Visible, sir.
Huh. Please check
Restart
your
कर दे
connection.
हो
Please check your connection. Okay, it is visible, right? Yes. Okay.
yes sir visible
Okay. So if it is not visible, please check your connection. I think on my part, I am presenting. Okay. So location independent resource pooling. Now, what is location independent resource pooling? That resources can be physically located and at many geographical location. Okay, whenever you are using the AWS service, AWS has their own data centers. Okay, same way, let me give the example. Do you know where the data centers available, Google data centers are there? Have you checked images of Google data centers or where it is? Just write down in a chat box where Google has uh, set up its data center. If you know Google, then we'll discuss about AWS also. And where it is, I think Google has set up many places across the world. Yes, many places, right? I'm not talking about servers. Google has set up the certain servers also, and Google has set up the data centers in a different places. It is not all around the world, into the selected places. Okay, again, I can name California, I can name, you can say, Silicon Valley, I can name Florida in a US part. Same way in a Europe also, in a certain places, in a Asia, Singapore, then in India also, in China also. So Google has set up its data centers, and according to the 2016 report, that Google has 2.5 million servers from its data centers. Okay, so you just imagine how much information Google is storing. Okay, right from the, you can say, file system to, you can say, cloud, to machine learning, to everything. Google has everything, right? So same way, Amazon is also having the certain data centers. So what is location independent resource pooling means? Whenever user is using any service of cloud service provider, no matter where the user's data is stored. When user requests any particular data from cloud service provider, it should be readily available any place, anytime, anywhere. There should be no location dependent resource pooling. There should be a location independent resource pooling. My data is stored in a US, my data is stored in a California data center, and now I am in a India, and when I'm requesting any particular data through my cloud service provider, it should be readily available and fetched to my screen. That is called location independent resource pooling. Okay. Rapid elasticity. Now, what is rapid elasticity? Rapid elasticity refers to the ability of cloud to expand allocated resources quickly and efficiently meet the requirement of a self-service of a user to large pool of dynamic resources. Okay, suppose as a user, see, if I'm using the Amazon web service, Amazon is providing, I think, more than 161 services to the user. 161 service, right from providing the space, providing the networking, providing the processing power, providing the operating system, everything. So what user requires, directly user can get, and accordingly whatever the user is using the services, cloud service provider will charge certain amount of dollars. Okay, so see, please check the line. There are large number of pool of dynamic resources that can be paid for as needed, when needed by the user. Okay, so whatever user is required, accordingly cloud service provider will give, and accordingly it will be charged and paid. Measured services, amount of cloud resources used by the consumer can be dynamically and automatically allocated and monitored. Again, measured services means Amazon will give you Amazon or any cloud service provider will intimate, will warn you that you are exceeding the limit. Your particular bill is this automatically. So it will be monitored by the cloud service provider. Getting? So that is rapid elasticity and measured service. And these are the characteristics of cloud computing. Okay. Now, what are the cloud computing components? So if you can check on left hand side, there are the cloud computers, that is client computer, or you can say user. On a right hand side, there is a data center, and on at the bottom there are a distributed server established or set up at a different places. All these are connected with the internet. So here internet is a main part to use the cloud computing services provided by the cloud service providers. Getting? So these are the three components in a cloud computing: client, data center, and distributor server. Okay, what is client? I think you better know. Client are the devices that end user interact with to manage the information on a cloud. Client means me, you as a user, okay, which uses the certain cloud services provided by the cloud provider. Categories, okay, what kind of you can say device client can use. Client can use mobile, client can use PDS, okay, client can use the regular components, sorry, computers. So it depends. Okay, advantages, what could be the advantages? Lower hardware cost, lower IT cost, security, data security, less power consumption, ease of repair, and less noise. These are the advantages of cloud computing. If you check, suppose if I say lower hardware cost, what is lower hardware? You don't have to set up any kind of data centers. if you are running a big organization, or if you are running the big IT company, if you want to store a certain data, then what you need to do, you need to purchase a data center, you need to purchase a host, you need to host your particular data center, you need to purchase a space, everything you need to purchase, and you need to purchase a certain physical, you can say purchase a physical space also to set up a different servers and data center. So if you use the cloud computing, or if you use the different service provided by the cloud service provider, one main advantage is lower hardware cost. You don't have to do anything. Security will be also managed by the different service provider. You don't have to purchase a antivirus. You don't have to purchase the firewall. Okay, you don't have to purchase any kind of security, you can say, mechanism. Everything will be done by the particular cloud service provider. Data security, also responsibility of securing your data is also on the part of a particular cloud service provider. Less power consumption, okay, less noise, ease of repair and replacement, everything. Okay, so these are the advantages of cloud computing. What is data center? Collection of server where application to which you subscribe is housed. Okay, every cloud service provider has their own center placed at one particular physical room or place. Okay, distributed server don't have all to be housed in the same location. Server can be set up at a different location. Okay, so it is, you can say, separated, or it is placed at a different geographical location, depends on a different cloud service provider. Okay, in example, for instance, Amazon. Okay, any doubt of this, any doubt up to this? Should we proceed? Just write down in the chat box so that I think I can proceed. Infrastructure will depend on application, how the provider has chosen to build the cloud solution. Again, number of server you require far exceeds your desire. This is the infrastructure. All will be done through, you can say, cloud service provider. Okay. Now there are different services provided by the cloud computing. What kind of services? There are three types of services provided by cloud computing. First one is software as a service, second one is platform as a service, and third one is hardware or infrastructure as a service. So these are the three services provided by the cloud computing. IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. If I remember as in a short form, તો IaaS એટલે શું થાય? Infrastructure as a service. PaaS એટલે શું થાય? Platform as a service. And SaaS means software as a service. Let me go for software as a service. Now, what is a software as a service? It is a model in which application is hosted as a service to the customer who access it via internet. The customer doesn't have to maintain it or support it. Can you give me the example of software as a service application? Provider does all the patching, upgrades, updates, as well as keeping the infrastructure running. So whatever the provider will maintain the particular application. Customer has to just access it. Can you give me the example of software as a service example? Anybody? I think you have used many applications. Can you give me the example of software service application? Yes. Gmail, first, Dropbox, yes, Google Drive, all the G Suite applications, say Google Meet, where you can do a video conferencing, you can actually present something, what we are doing right now. Same way, Dropbox, where you have a Dropbox account, you can store certain amount of data into that particular thing. Google Classroom, okay, Google Docs, everything that is G Suite. Okay, Cisco WebMeet, these are the software as a service example. Particular company has designed for a specific purpose. Customer will access through internet and customer can use it. If any patching, if any monitoring, if any maintenance is required, then particular company will do it, or particular provider will do it. Customer will not do anything. Okay, that is software as a service. You can check the figure. Service provider will offer a certain application via internet. Client will download that application and client can use. Okay, so Google Classroom, Google Drive, Google Colab, or you can say Dropbox, or you can say Cisco WebMeet, or there are lots of. Okay, some of the application includes in this field, I think, customer CRM, video conference. I can give you the example of Cisco WebMeet, Google Meet, IT service management, accounting, web analytics, web content management. I can give you the example of PUBG Chetan. There is one. I think you can play the PUBG by installing that application. Everything maintain, everything update, everything monitoring, maintenance, everything will be done by the particular provider. Okay. Again, you can use the specific browser also. I can give you the example of Chrome. I can give you the example of Firefox, Safari. Okay, it is designed for a specific purpose, and if user wants to use it, then what you can do, what they can do, they can actually install. When use the component of another application is known as plugin. Okay. What are the benefits of SaaS? These are the benefits. Familiarity with www, smaller staff, okay, customization, better marketing, web reliability, security, more bandwidth. Okay, these are the benefit of software as a service. Okay, same way there will be a certain obstacles also. What could be the obstacles? Can you tell me? If I'm using the SaaS application, what could be the obstacles? Anybody? What could be the obstacle? I have described the benefits. There are lots of benefits of SaaS, software as a service, and I think you have listed the certain example of SaaS, Gmail, Google Docs, Google Classroom, બધા Google વાળું બધું Google નું જ લખ્યું છે. So what could be the obstacles? Can you tell me? In a software as a service, memory specification. Okay, any other? If any bugs appear, you cannot do anything other than waiting it for fixed by operator. Okay, any other thing? Software compatibility, yes. Okay, bandwidth limitation. Okay, any other thing? Most important part ek bhuli જાઉં છું હજી. Most important point. Any other? There are 27 students and I think 7 to 8 students are replying. Other what they are doing, I don't know, but still. Internet connection. Okay. Okay. Obstacle main point is lock-in with the vendor. Now, what is lock-in with the vendor? Customer may be unable to port that application to the new vendor. So suppose you are using the, say, Gmail or Google. Now you want to use same account for Yahoo. You cannot do it. Same vice versa scenario. Suppose you have Yahoo account and now you want to use for using the Google. You cannot use it. So you are in a lock-in with the vendor that if you want a space or if you want to use the certain services, then you need to create a Gmail account. Getting? I think Android phone માં છે. In Android, if you want to update or install any particular application, you need to create a Google account. Same way for Apple. Okay, if you want to use the Apple store, or I don't know the name, you need to create the Apple ID with your email ID, something like that. See, if cloud servers is hacked, see, nothing is secure in current world. Okay, we cannot say that this particular thing is secure. Okay, so it is, I think, irrelevant, right? Many big companies like Amazon Prime, Netflix are using the AWS services. Okay, so it is, I think, irrelevant if we say if server is hacked or something like that. Okay, so there are big companies who is using the different service. Okay, so we cannot see that, we cannot say like these are the, I think I can give you the customer name of AWS. I think I can give you the, like, તમે નામ સાંભળ્યું હશે, Adobe System. So Adobe System is using the AWS service. Then BMW. If you don't know BMW, then I think in a car market it is a big company. BMW is using their different AWS service. Then you can say Hitachi, HTC, Netflix, Nokia is also, I think now Nokia is not using, Nokia is using Nokia has been purchased by the, I think, Microsoft, but still. Then Qantas, it is a big name in a airline field. Qantas Airways, Tata Motors, then I think Vodafone, Disney is also using the AWS services. Okay, these are the big companies who is actually using the other different service of AWS. Okay, these are just example. Okay, so here the my point is, if you are using the SaaS, suppose if you are using the Gmail account, then you are into the vendor lock-in. Lock-in means you are locked with this particular vendor like Google, that you can, if you want to use the service, you need to enter the Gmail ID only. Other email ID will not work, like Hotmail or Yahoo. Okay, so that is obstacles. Finally, SaaS also face the challenges from availability of open source application and cheaper hardware. Again, one here is a very specific computational need might not be able to find the application available through SaaS. Suppose if you say that I want a specific application for this particular thing, you might not able to find this application on a certain level. Okay, if I talk about Gmail, so Gmail can be used by general people. Why? Just you need to create the account. If I say PUBG, then PUBG is used for most of the people who is you playing for the particular game. But if I say that I want to design a SaaS application for myself for a particular purpose, then it might be not there in a, you can say, commercial world. You need to go to the particular developer, you need to give your requirement, and then this can be done through certain ways, but you will not able to find. Okay, so you will not able to find the application available to available through SaaS for a specific purpose. Okay, any doubt up to this? You can tell me. I think yes, this is SaaS. Can platform as a service uh, supplies all the resources required to build the application service completely from internet without to download and install the software. Platform as a service, also known as a cloudware. Can you tell me what is PaaS example? PaaS examples. I can give you the example. Certain application which is used to build us, you can say platform which is used to build the application. I can give you the example, Microsoft Windows Azure, Google App Engine, then Elastic Beanstalk, which is already there in AWS services. So PaaS is a service which includes application design, development, testing, deployment, and hosting for your application. Okay, if you want to make any application, then platform as a service will provide you one platform where you can design, you can test, you can deploy, and you can host your application, and that is a platform as a service. I can give you the example of Elastic Beanstalk, which is a service provided by the AWS, Google App Engine, that is service provided by the Google, then OpenShift. Okay, there are lots of other services as well. So these are the certain examples. Okay, you can check the, yes, Google Firebase, right? Google Firebase is one option where you can test, design. Actually, I was also taking the Android. Okay, so I know the what is Google Firebase, where you can actually host your application, you can test, where you can generate a certain analytics with your applications. Everything you can do, okay, through Google Firebase. So I was taking the Android, and I have also we have also introduced the Android into your syllabus, which was I was taking, and Google Android course we have actually introduced. Okay, so where we have actually taken the syllabus into Google Firebase, we have generated the certain applications, everything. So Google Firebase is very good tool. It is free of cost to test, design, to actually generate the certain analysis of your application. So that is good. Google Firebase also. Okay, so you can check the figure also. Service provider will offer a certain platform to test a certain application of yours through internet, and you can use that particular application. Same way, it PaaS includes the application design, development, testing. Okay, again, what is the downfall? PaaS is a lack of interoperability and portability among the providers. Okay, so if you have designed and tested through Google Firebase, then again same application might be you will face the difficulties in testing into some other platform. Say you can say Google, you can say I think Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. So due to lack of interoperability and portability among the different cloud service provider, there is a lack of you can say downfall. Okay, it also provides the concurrency, scalability, and security. What are the options? Add-on development facility, standalone environment, application delivery only environment. What are the obstacles? Some of the developers are afraid of being logged into the single provider. I have given the example. Okay, if you are using one platform, might be possible again you cannot use the another platform because you have tested, designed, deploy everything into that particular PaaS platform. So vendor may allow the application to be brought to the different provider. So that is again obstacle related to the particular platform as a service. Again, costs are higher compared to if you are moving the application from one to another platform. So cost will get higher. Okay. So this is your AS, this is your PaaS and SaaS. Now last one is hardware as a service, that is infrastructure as a service. Can you give me the infrastructure as a service? What is infrastructure as a service? Example, AS. AS example. Amazon Web Service, which will we learn? Okay, AWS is a infrastructure as a service example. Google Compute Engine, GCE, is an example of infrastructure as a service. Now, what is infrastructure? Infrastructure as a service means, yes, Microsoft Azure, yes. Infrastructure as a service means everything this particular cloud service provider will give you: memory, storage, uh, data processing, everything will be given by that particular uh, AAS service. So if you are hosting your data application onto the AWS will give you everything in terms of processing power, in terms of networking, in terms of data processing, in terms of memory, everything. You don't have to worry about everything. So each thing related to the infrastructure will be given by the Amazon Web Service or any other particular AAS platform. So AAS or HaaS means hardware as a service, allows you to rent the resources. Rent એટલે કે whatever the processing power, whatever the memory, whatever the storage you will use, you will be rented. Okay, in terms of space, in terms of memory, in terms of CPU cycle, everything will be rent from the particular AAS provider, and accordingly you will be charged. Okay, so infrastructure can be dynamically, you can scale up or down based on application resource need. Okay, so these are the several pieces where if you are using the infrastructure as a service, suppose you are using the AWS, you need to do the service level agreement between client and provider. Again, you need to have a computer hardware uh, which you will be using. Service provider often have certain setup and grid for easier scalability. Again, network, service provider will give you the hardware for firewall, router, load balancing, and so on. Okay, everything will be done by the particular provider. Okay, again, first you need to have an internet connectivity. So if you have higher bandwidth internet connectivity, you can access the hardware from their own organization. And last one is platform virtualization environment, where cloud to run the virtual machine they want. You can run everything on a cloud virtual machine. You can set up a different operating systems, say Linux, or you can say Red Hat, or anything. Okay, so these are the several pieces. What are the application? These are the application: storage application, database application, where you can use. Okay, any doubt up to this? These are the AAS, PaaS, and SaaS: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. These are the service provided by the particular cloud computing. If you have any doubt, you can tell me. Otherwise, still we have 30 minutes. I will show you the first practical. Let me show so that you able to understand. I think I have a, if I have a PDF file, I can show you in 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, I need to find out this, but still, uh, let me tell you that what you can do is, first practical is, you need to install any particular operating system in a virtual box. Okay, and then you need to make one, you can say, practical. Okay, so any virtual tool you can install in your particular laptop or computer, and then you can make one file. Okay, just you need to install, and stepwise you take the screenshot. Okay, you don't have to install that particular operating system in a dual boot માં નથી નાખવાનું. What you need to do, you need to install particular virtual tool. Okay, VMware, VirtualBox, there are lots of tools available freely on the internet. Just search. Okay. I'm not getting that file, so again, so I expect that you will complete first practical. Okay, anything related to that? Okay, if you have any doubt, please tell me. If anybody wants to discuss anything related to AWS, I'm ready to help you. Okay, I will upload this file. Let me upload so that you start.
Sir,
Yes.
I have created a AWS Educate account and I'm in it.
Yes.
It's showing the dashboard part. What's next?
Okay, please share your screen.
Is it?
1 minute. Yes, visible. Okay, this is AWS.
Is the
Okay,
logged in
right.
part of the
Okay, just go to
AWS?
AWS account. because my UI and your UI is different. Yes, create a starter account. And then yes, so it is getting, I think, estimated 75 or 100. Okay, yes, 100, you will be getting 100 credit.
100 credits.
Okay, yes, okay, 1 minute. Okay, just click on to that particular part. Yes, so this is your AWS Vocarium console where you need to agree everything, and then okay, go to yes, agree. Yes, so you are getting, right, see, $100, right? Okay, now you go to AWS console. These are the list of questions. If you find out any difficulty, you can check this on a left hand side. Okay, go to AWS.
FAQs. Okay.
You need to enable the pop-up. Yes, so this is your AWS money management control where you need to perform the practical. See, these are the certain services provided by the AWS. Launch the virtual machine with
Okay.
EC2, then building the web app, then build the user virtual server, register a domain, then connect to the IoT device, start migrating to AWS. So we don't have lots, means deep practical, but I will explain how to use the virtual machine, how to build using virtual servers. These are the part of your practical, if you can check your syllabus. Okay, so this is your console where you need to actually perform the each and every practical. Okay, so your actually AWS account is active right now. Educate.
Yes, sir.
Till the time again you can check the, when you perform any practical, please make sure you check your credit also. Okay,
Okay.
because it will be deducted whenever you are launching the virtual machine with EC2, that is Elastic Cloud Compute. Automatically AWS will provide you a space, AWS will provide you the processing power, AWS will provide you the certain operating system which you have selected. So everything AWS will provide you from their resources. Okay, and it will charge you certain amount of dollars, and it will be deducted from your 100 credits. Getting? So whenever you complete the,
So here are the video tutorials.
yes,
Something like that.
yes, there are certain, you can say, information related to the tutorials also, but you can check. Otherwise, I think we don't have much time. I think you will be having only 2 months. So if you learn, if you want to learn something, you require more time, right?
Okay.
Okay, so still I will be helping you in a best possible way. Okay, but it requires time. You need time if you learn, if you want to learn a skill regarding certain things, right? We cannot learn in 1 hour, 2 hour, or 15 hours. Okay, if you check your lab, you are having lab of 2 hours per week. So if you count September and I think October, I don't know. So you will be getting 4 plus 4, 8, 16 and 18 hours of lab, right? In that 18 to 20 hours, we need to finish syllabus of first 6 chapter, plus we need to finish lecture part as well, and plus practical part. So if you want to learn something new, what I would suggest is you do certain courses related to the cloud, right? If you are interested in AWS, then enroll into the certain AWS courses which AWS is giving the certification. Same way, if you are interested in Google Cloud, then you enroll. I think we are collaborating with Google, so you'll be getting. I think let me show you one. I have, I think, 1 minute. If you are very much interested, let me share one thing. How that Google Cloud Readiness Program was important for you, not me. Let me show you. 1 minute. Yes, I have actually completed this certificate and I am getting this Google certificate where I have completed 5 courses. Please check. This certification is very much not for me, for you. If you show this Google Cloud badge to any of the particular recruiter, okay, I'm talking about not Google, any recruiter, directly that will be impacted to that recruiter that you have a Google Cloud certification and course provided by Google. See, please check Google Cloud training. Okay, if you think that directly recruiter will recruit me without showing your skill, it's not possible in this particular modern day. You need to show your skill that I know these things. Okay, and how to show the particular skill by getting the certain good certification, and this was very good certification. Again, I will show you one more certification if I'm quick labs. Okay, I have 1 minute. Please mute yourself, somebody's mic is on. Yug, please mute. Yes. Again, let me show. If I can do it, you can do. Yeah, right. I don't have much time, but you are right now free. You can enroll. You can quick labs. Go to the hands-on cloud training. These are again signing. Sign in with the Google. I think my email ID is this. See, I have actually completed my learning, and yes, see, these are the Quest or Cloud labs I have completed, and I have got the badges from the Google that these are the labs you have completed till now. These are the badges given by the Google Cloud for me. Please check networking and cloud badge on. Kubernetes in Google Cloud badge on. Google Cloud Essential. I can post it into the LinkedIn profile or any other profile where I can show my skill. Google Engineering badge on. Mind you, this is not the free badge. I need to complete a labs. See, I have completed. These are the labs I have completed. That's why I have get on the badges. Okay, I can show my public profile. These are the public. I can share it. Okay, and this is a quick labs provided by Google. Let me again tell you again if I can show more things. I can actually enroll into certain cloud experts. See, but I don't have time. See, machine learning. These are the, I think you are into your machine. I think your branch is computer engineering with AI. So AI means machine learning. It is a part. Machine learning is a part of AI only, if you don't know, right? Artificial intelligence. Okay, and again, if you go deep in machine learning, we have NLP, natural language processing. Okay, if you are into the AI big data, that is big data. So Google is providing you the big data. Please check. These are the free hands-on, you can show your skill. Please check, see. And these are the free of cost. If you go outside, it will cost you lots of things, lots of fortunes. So whenever we are sending any mail, please, actually, who has registered? Anybody has registered with the Google Cloud Readiness? Anybody out of 26 students? Anybody? Yes, sir. Okay, Kishan. So have you completed the task?
Sir, not I have not completed all the labs, but I have completed the first
Please
one.
complete. Kishan, today is the last date. What you are doing?
Yes, sir. Actually,
See,
I was
excuses.
busy.
See, excuses will come and go. Time will not will come again. Okay, if you will not complete,
Yes,
you will be very much in loss. Because see, right
yes,
now,
sir.
see what I'm trying to say. It's your choice if you want to complete or not. I'm not saying.
I will do it,
Okay,
sir.
please mute yourself. See, what is my concern is every time Google is not giving means not telling what they will give to the students at the starting. Okay, after you complete, Google is giving surprises. I have told you that in previous batch, Google has given the surprise that if you complete this, if student completes this, automatically Google will be you are will be eligible in a paid internship to the Google. પૈસા Google તમને આપશે internship કરવાના. તમારે કઈ નહીં દેવાનું, રહેવા ખાવાનો બધાનો ખર્ચો. Same way, Google has also said that you will be eligible for hiring process if you complete this. For that, just you need to clear the certain, you can say rounds. But out of whole country, if you are directly eligible for paid internship, if you are directly eligible for hiring process, means that is lot for, you can say, you as an institute and as a students. Otherwise, if you go for an open campus, you will not be eligible. Google doesn't have time for this to go to the campus to recruit. Okay, so if Google is giving the certain opportunity, grab it. If I think if you are not selected in a paid internship or not, it is another thing, but you are getting the Google certificate. That is the most important part. Okay, Tana, you are also enrolled. Please, have you completed?
Yes, sir. I've completed and earned that first badge.
Good. Okay, so please fill the acceptance or something form, right? A quest form.
Sir, I've filled that too.
Okay, thank you.
That also
Good,
I've filled.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so any doubt related to this, please tell me. Otherwise, we can, I think, take the attendance. I think you will be feeling now bored since 1.5 hours I'm talking and talking. So I think we can finish now. Okay, just write down your enrollment number in a chat box when I'm saying. Okay, enrollment number 1, 80 series 1. Present. Okay, yes. 1 minute. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2. Okay, enrollment number 3.
Sir, three present.
3. Please write down in a chat box. Okay. 4. Okay, present. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Okay. 10, 12, 13. 10, 12. Okay, 3. Okay. 12 is present. 12. Yes. Okay. 14, 15, 16. 15. 14. Okay, 16. Okay. 17, 18, 19. 17, 18, 19. 19. 20, 21, 22. 20, 20, 21. Okay. Now 48. 80 series 48. Okay. Now 91 series 1. Okay, 48 is present. Okay. 91 series 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, 92 series 1 and 2. Okay. So again, I'm repeating the absent numbers 14, 19, and 21. These are the absent numbers. Okay.
Sir, 21.
21 is present. Okay. 1 minute. Let me check. Have you written your enrollment number? 21. Okay. Yes, you have written. Okay. 14 and 19. Absent numbers are 14 and 19. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can tell me related to this course. Very interesting course. If you want to learn something new, cloud computing is for you. Current trending technology. Okay, it depends on you whether you want to be, if you want to learn something, or if you want to do in a cloud technology, then it's your part. Otherwise, I think we cannot force you to take interest. It is purely depend on you only. Okay, so okay, this concludes our lecture. Thank you.